on? It's a full house up in here.
Oh, yes, he can pack a full house. I bet you've never heard that before.
Never heard that one.
But perhaps you know him best as Uncle Joey. I know I did on the long-running hit sitcom Full House. Actor and comedian Dave Coulier takes the stage this weekend. He's over at Stanford and Sons Comedy Club at the Legends. Thank you so much for being with us
Thank
today.
you, and thank you for showing my mullet and those wonderful outfits. Those are just so 80s, aren't they?
Don't worry, I had some bad 80s hair myself. Wings and bangs.
We all did.
Aquanet was my good friend.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's talk about the two shows you have going on. You have 2 tonight and 2 tomorrow.
Yes.
What can people expect?
Well, it's clean. First of all, unlike my filthy Jewish sister, Bob Saget, it's clean, and I do not talk about Bob's nether regions, much like what he likes to do about me in his show. But it's clean. It's funny without that pungent F-bomb aftertaste, and anybody can come to my shows, and it's just fun and funny. So
families are welcome.
Yeah, just about everybody, gets a good laugh out of my stuff, and it's, I do some voices and impressions and some music and storytelling. I talk a little bit about the Full House cast. We all still see each other.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. So who do you, it's been, what, more than 20 years?
Well, 1987 is when we premiered, and we were on till 95, but we've really kind of stayed as a dysfunctional family off camera as well.
That's so cool.
I just saw John Stamos. He and I do a lot of charity stuff, a lot of charity events, and every year, in a couple weeks, we do this charity event for abused children. We do a Christmas show, so we host that together, and that's where the comedy hijinks begins.
And the Olsen twins, still in touch with them?
Well, we don't see them as often because they're East Coasters,
right.
So we're all in Los Angeles. But I still talk to everybody. We hang out and have barbecues, and it's nice,
That's so cool. I remember watching the show very, very well, not to date myself. And now I know you're working on a couple different things. You're actually getting into directing and writing commercials?
I am, yes. After all these years in front of the camera, I've always wanted to do some directing, so I started writing and producing my own commercials to put a reel together, and then a friend of mine suggested, hey, they have this Super Bowl contest. Why don't we write and produce a couple of commercials for that? So I have a Pepsi Max and a Doritos commercial, and it's up on the Crash the Super Bowl website, and it was really a lot of fun. And I'm just kind of a beginning director, but to be on the other side of the camera telling everybody else where to go and what to do is really fun.
Yeah, that must be really different. And then this, I think, is just awesome. You're working on a show, a TV show, with Flavor Flav, who, by the way, as I told you, my mom sat next to him on the airplane.
Oh, that's a joyride.
Loved him.
Yeah. He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, he did. Actually, she said he was napping quite a bit. But so what's that all about? How'd that come to being, first of all?
Well, he and I were on the Surreal Life together.
Oh,
and
right,
we became buddies, and we stayed in touch. And I said, someday you and I should do a show together. We really interact really great together. So I came up with this show called Dave and Flav. And it's where we live together, and we end up raising a baby together.
No.
And we find a baby in a park, and we meet each other, and we hear this baby, and we're like, we can't leave the baby, and so we end up becoming friends and raising the baby together. So we, Flav
How
came
is he with babies? Just
I don't
out of
know
curiosity.
yet. I have no idea. I have no idea. But Jeff Franklin, who created Full House and Hanging with Mr. Cooper and Malcolm and Eddie, he's kind of the point guard in this show. And so right now we're in the, everybody discusses and talks and, puts deals together. So that's kind of where we're at. But it would be a funny show, true odd couple.
Oh my gosh,
to be sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So are there, of course, because everyone remembers Full House so well, are there any little secrets that you can now reveal, something that happened back in the day that we'd all appreciate?
John Stamos and I used to pull a lot of pranks on Bob Saget, and so John was just on Jimmy Kimmel last week promoting Glee. He's on Glee now, and so he told this story about And I hope, please don't be offended, but this is a true story.
No offense taken
Yeah,
here.
no offense taken. Okay, but John and I used to call like gay hotlines, and we used to say that we were Bob Saget and give out Bob's number.
Oh,
so
I'm sure he loved that.
Yes, so lots of gay gentlemen would call Bob and ask him out on dates, and he couldn't figure out why all these gay men were suddenly calling him. And then he found out it was John and I, and Bob didn't like John and I very much for about a week.
Oh, well, at least he forgave you. He didn't hold too much of a grudge.
Yeah, no.
Right.
And we're all friends, and and Bob never went out with one of those guys. Let me just tell you, he never ended up with one of those guys. So.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us.
You.
And you can catch Dave's family.
Look at the size of my head.
You can catch Dave's family-friendly act tonight and tomorrow again, Stanford and Sons at the Legends, and you can also cut it out. Are you going to do that?
I see what you did there.
What are you going to do?
I see what you did there.
Call Stanford's, by the way, 913.
Like an orange on a toothpick.
Do you want me to give the free tickets or not? 913-400-7500. Tickets to tonight's show. We'll be right back.
Stanford's. It's like a virtual. Look at that.